So some of us, we don't just eat for to quench our physical hunger. We also eat for emotional reasons. We eat to reward ourselves, and then we eat to feel better. This is what is called emotional eating. Oftentimes when you feel bored, you feel lonely, you feel disappointed, you feel tired, you just want to eat just to cover up that emotion at that particular period. But oftentimes, emotional eating does more harm than good, because you are eating in response to a negative emotion. You're not really eating because you are physically hungry, because you're feeling your stomach is empty. So this is a wrong eating motive, and it has negative consequences. And this is the topic of our conversation today. So if you are not following this page yet, please follow this page. If you have not liked, please like, and if you have not commented, please comment. It means a lot to us. So let's get straight into the conversation. Okay, so the first set of things to consider is, how do you identify if you are an emotional eater? Number one, do you eat more when you are stressed, when you are tensed up? Number two, do you feel that food is a reward? You constantly use food to reward yourself. Number three, do you feel that food is your friend, that, oh, the only friend I have? You resort to eating whenever you feel that you're lonely. Do you feel that food is your friend? And then, do you feel safe when you shall know that, oh, I can eat? Then do you feel safe with food? When you look at these factors and you identify three of them as the things that you is really true concerning you, then you are likely to be an emotional eater. So what are the causes of emotional eating? Fear, anger, bitterness, loneliness, feeling of emptiness, feeling of rejection, societal influences, and then your childhood habits. These are the factors that come together and causes emotional eating if not well managed. So when you identify these factors in your life, you should be determined to handle them the way they should be handled. Food is never a solution. Yeah, so let's look at the differences between emotional hunger and physical hunger. Number one, emotional hunger comes on you suddenly. Physical hunger is progressive. It takes time. You begin to feel, oh, I think I need to eat little by little by little, that way. That's number one. Number two, when you are emotionally hungry, you crave unhealthy foods. You crave junk, you crave cookies, you crave sugary foods, you crave ice cream, you crave unhealthy foods, usually. But when you're physically hungry, you crave real foods, you crave healthy meals. Oftentimes, you crave healthy meals. Now, number three, emotional hunger leads to mindless eating. You just eat uncontrollably. But for physical hunger, it leads to mindful eating. You take your time, you eat, and you enjoy your meal. Now, number four, emotional hunger leads to, you are not satisfied even when you have eaten. The emotions are actually not attended to, but it is a physical hunger. When you have eaten, you tend to feel better. Now, number five, when you have succumbed to emotional hunger after eating, you feel a sense of guilt, you feel a sense of unsatisfaction, you feel a sense of regret, because oftentimes you have just eaten voraciously. So it is actually not a healthy feeling afterwards. You feel regret, guilt, and all the likes. Those are the differences between emotional hunger and physical hunger. So the causes of emotional hunger are bitterness, anger, boredom, feeling of emptiness, loneliness, childhood habits, social influences, and all the likes. There are a lot of factors, but those are the major ones that really causes emotional hunger, and they should be adequately dealt with. Okay, so how do we overcome emotional eating? The first advice I will give is appreciate your feeling, understand, identify your feeling, take ownership of your feeling, and find meaningful solutions to how you feel. Ask yourself, how do I feel? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I lonely? Identify that this is how you feel at this particular time, and let's look for the way out, because the way out is definitely not food. That's number one. Then number two, before you eat, wait for a few minutes, let's say 1 minute, 2 minutes. And while you wait, ask yourself specific questions. How do I feel? Be deliberate, be intentional about yourself and about your wellness. So when you ask yourself specific questions, you'll be able to answer. You become more real, to yourself, and that way you feel a little bit better. Then while you eat, be mindful, practice mindful eating. Look at the food. What is the color? What is the shape? How was it presented? The atmosphere. That's why it is important to really create time for your food. So during your eating time, you identify that, oh, the food, the atmosphere is good. Maybe in the presence of cool music, I usually recommend that you eat in the presence of very cool music. It's really going to help you to savor the taste, the shape, and everything about your food. Then you'll be able to derive maximum pleasure from whatever you are eating. So you're not eating for emotions, you are really eating to satisfy yourself. Then other lifestyle habits. So at that point, you are not likely to be an emotional eater. You are really eating for nutrition. You are really eating for nutrients. Then you practice other habits like exercising regularly, 8 hours, your 8 hours of sleep, you try to aim at 8 hours. Even if you fall a little bit below, it is still okay. Then your exercise, very important. Then it is also important that you look at your association, you understand. Try to connect with family, connect with friends, in that way you'll be able to, appreciably overcome emotional eating, and you feel sincerely better. All right, this is your food and you. Please be sure to like, be sure to follow, be sure to comment, and send in your questions. I will definitely send in my answers. Thank you, and see you in my next one. Bye bye.